Hi and welcome to my channel. So when you talk about political turmoil, this is really what is going on in the UK at this point in time, because only a few days ago, the UK government indeed announced that if you are not earning at least £38,700 per year, you will not be able to bring dependents to the UK. Well, mind you, the government has now backtracked on that, changed their minds, and brought up a completely new amount with new terms and conditions that people would need to fulfill in order to bring dependents to the UK. And I think while this is absolutely good news, I think it just shows the state of the country and the kind of yo-yo relationship that goes on between the UK and overseas workers, because it's a kind of relationship where you're thinking, look, we don't like you, we can't stand you, but guess what? We need you. It's that type of a relationship where you're like, it's very, very toxic, but you're just thinking to yourself, am I going to survive without this person? So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you what the government has now announced, backtracking from the previous statement saying that people have to earn £38,700 per year to be able to bring dependents. So if you're new to my channel, obviously you're welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, as usual, I appreciate your time. And look, you need to keep up to date with these changes, because every single day something new is coming. And so I'm going to be telling you, obviously, in today's video. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, join the family right now. Hit the subscribe button so that you're the first person to be notified every single day when I drop a new video on here. I'm going to be telling you what the new amount is and when exactly is it going to be starting. Also, I do have a free newsletter, by the way. I've dropped a link in the comment section below where I send information such as this directly to your amazing inbox so you don't miss out on vital information. I also send information about visa sponsorship opportunities, free opportunities to move to the UK or switch your visa if you're already in this amazing country. So if you join that newsletter, it's not going to take you 20 seconds. You drop your name and email and you're part of it. So I send that directly to your inbox. You're also going to find my contact details on there. It's my WhatsApp number as well as my email address, so that if you want to get in contact with myself for your personal and professional development, you're looking for free visa sponsorship opportunities, you need that guidance, or you've just got any questions, or indeed you're already in the UK looking for career progression, I can support you with that. So again, do join that newsletter because I will make sure that you're kept updated. So what was the law that the UK government had indeed passed, because it was already formal, official on their website? So they had said that the current amount basically is £18,000 per year. That's how much, if you're in the UK and you want to bring dependents, that's how much you need to be earning. But obviously for many overseas workers, that doesn't work anyway, because you need to be earning a lot more than that amount for you to get visa sponsorship, which means that if you get to that stage, you're always eligible. But the new law was basically increasing that amount from £18,000 to a whooping £38,700 per year, which is a lot. So the government had said that that was going to be starting from spring of 2024. So that's next year. They have now said that indeed the new amount is going to be £29,000 per year, which is a massive reduction from the original 38,700, but obviously it's still a lot higher than the current £18,000. So when does it start and how is this going to actually work out? By the way, if you're watching this and it's our first time meeting, you're welcome here. My name is Melvis. I currently work as an advanced nurse practitioner for the NHS, which is the most senior clinical nursing position in the profession. I started my journey in the UK as a carer in a nursing home. I'm passionate about career progression. It's not only about coming to the UK, but we must make the most of the best opportunities that this country has to offer. As you see, the reason why the government keeps going up and down with all these immigration rules is because many of us are not able to progress in our careers and get into places where we have enough influence and enough impact to be able to influence decision making. And so I've got a private career coaching program. I've dropped a link in the description box below, or the about section of this channel. You can check that out, where I offer tailored, individualized, one-to-one personalized guidance with free visa sponsorship opportunities, getting to the NHS, getting apprenticeship so you can study without paying all the ridiculously high tuition fees in the UK. I've done 2 master's courses in the UK myself through this apprenticeship pathway without paying any fees, and indeed being paid in order for me to study and progress in my career and earn further qualifications that are very, very worthwhile and absolutely a mind-blowing for when it comes to career progression. So I do support with all of that. Like I've said, check the description box below or the about section of this channel and do join that program so that you can get started. Because look, if many of us are coming to the UK as we are in our thousands and we are not progressing to get to a stage where we can influence policy, look, we're not doing any favor to ourselves or to the people coming after us. And that's why you see that, many of us come here, we have a huge impact in this country, but we're not able to influence anything. And I'm going to tell you why this particular law has changed. It hasn't changed because the government has just sat and thought, oh my goodness, what a good idea for us to change our minds. No, that was not why. It was pressure from those groups, from charities, that support British citizens who are having spouses from overseas. Those charities put a lot of pressure on the government to say to the government, we are going to have a lawsuit. In fact, they were mobilizing to go to court and challenge the government, by just saying that this is illegal, this should not be happening. And the reason why the government has backtracked is because they are avoiding all of that. And let me tell you, all the other immigration laws and policies that they've implemented recently are going to stand. The only one that they have backtracked on so far is this particular one. And that is because of the influence, like I say, from these organizations that support these people. And they're not just making noise and talking about it. What they've done, it's actually looked at the data. And that's why data is so powerful. They've looked at the data to say, okay, you want to reduce net migration from over 700,000 per year to 300,000. This particular law that you said is going to affect British citizens, which is not fair, morally and ethically, because, the number of British citizens that are going to be impacted, or the number of dependents that will reduce, it's only going to be about 10,000 people, out of the whole 700,000 that they want to reduce. And they said to the government, this is the evidence that we are presenting. It's going to affect less than 10,000 people. So this is a very minute change for your reduction from 700,000 to 300,000. What this means is that the laws that they have implemented regarding student visas, international student visas, as well as carers and other overseas workers not bringing dependents, those rules are going to account for majority of the people that will not be able to come to the UK. And so this is how they kind of put their case forward to say, look, this particular law is going to affect British citizens, but it's only about 10,000 people. So there's no need to carry on with it because the number is so low. And as you can see, the government has obviously backtracked on that and said that instead of the 38,000, if you can bring your dependents to the UK if you're earning a basic salary of 29,000. So when is it going to start? By the way, if you're enjoying this content, just hit the like button. It lets me know you enjoy content like this, and obviously I should do more. Also, do share this with your friends, loved ones, colleagues, so that they're aware of some of these changes. And if you've got any questions, by the way, as I'm going along, do leave them in the comment section below, and I'm more than happy to join you there, to discuss further on all of that, because these are things that are life-changing. These are, rules that have a huge impact in the lives of those people that are going to be affected. And that's why I'm passionate about bringing these to you, because I understand what it means. So what and when is it going to start? So it's starting from spring of 2024. So the original date that the £38,000 salary was going to start, it's going to be 29,000 instead of the 38,000. So from spring of 2024, you need to be earning at least £29,000 per year in order to bring dependents to the UK. But there is also another but. As you know, they didn't end there. They said that eventually, at some point, that amount is going to increase from £29,000 to £34,000, but they don't know the date yet. They haven't provided any specifics, but they've just said it is going to increase from 29,000 to 34,000 at some point in time. That's not even all. But then after some time again, which is like, I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest, because at this point, we can just wait and see day by day what the laws are, what the rules are. And if I was a candidate at this point in time, I would just carry on with my plans, applying for jobs, because we don't know what the rules are going to be. So there's no need worrying about them anyway. It's about knowing what they are. But like I say, carrying on with your plans. Because I have people writing to me and saying, Melvis, with all the plans that the UK government is implementing and changing every day, do you think it's worth moving to the UK? Well, obviously, because it's for you to assess your situation and see, are you better off where you are now? Or are you better off moving to the UK, despite the T's and C's that the UK government has implemented? I can tell you that for many of us, moving to the UK is still a better option, because you're coming to provide a service that is needed. You're working in healthcare, for example. These are roles that the UK needs. So it's not like you're just doing you're doing this country a favor, by the way, coming here to work, because the service that we provide is a service that is needed and a service that wouldn't run successfully without us doing that work. So we are very much so needed. And so at some point, obviously the pay is going to increase again from the 34,000 to what they want, which is 38,700. But like I said, they haven't said when that is going to be. So nobody knows. I don't think they themselves know when it's going to be. But it's just about a subtle change saying, we listen to the people, because at the end of the day, the government is there to support its people. We as British citizens, we are the ones that are funding, all these initiatives through our taxes, obviously. And so rightfully we should be listened to, people should be heard. But like I always say, you need to have the right channels, you need to have the right influence, you need to have the right position in order for you to bring change. Because just talking about it or doing nothing or complaining or being emotional does not help. And it's bringing the evidence and saying, look, these people coming to the UK, this is the contribution that they have in the economy, this is why we cannot do without these people, and this is why these laws XYZ should be changed to ABC. And that is the sort of way that you need. And that's why when I talk about career progression, it's not only about the fact that you're going to earn more, you're going to have the potential to retire early, you're going to work less. When you progress in your career, you're definitely working less, and all of that. Is also the fact that you can influence policy. You can know the right channels in order for you to bring about change. And you can see this law has changed so because of the impact that these organizations and these people and these charities have been able to push, which means that any law that changes, if there is no if there is no support, when I say support, I don't mean just talking on YouTube like I'm doing. I mean behind the scenes, doing the real work and taking up those cases, looking at that evidence, putting it forward. If that is not happening, that lobbying that goes on behind the scenes, those laws will not change. And that's why when you see that when it comes to overseas workers, many of the laws that they make are very, very, I don't want to put a word to that, but if we are not able to come together to be able to influence policy, like I say, those things will not change. I know these are things that very few people are interested in. In fact, most people aren't interested in these things, but this is the way to be thinking forward for the future. And if you're an immigrant and you're thinking, I don't want my kids to go through the things that I've gone through, you need to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position to be able to impact and influence change and influence policy. Because if you don't, yes, your kids are going to go through exactly the same things that you've gone through and maybe even worse. So I don't know what you think, but if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. There are loads more changes that I've made. I'm going to be dropping videos on all of those changes to make sure that you're informed. Check out this other video that I've linked up here especially for you.